8 years ago, this was the first time that the name of Skoda Superb was being introduced. The new generation of the cars. First one ran from 2001 till 2008. Second generation from 2008 till 2015 now. And behind me is the third generation of the Skoda Superb. And tonight we'll see the all-new version of the Skoda Superb. It will be a very exciting night to see this car. See the car now. It's a really great looking car in my opinion, and let me just give you some basic facts about the new car. Actually, what has changed are well, a little bit of the dimension. The car has become 2 centimeters longer, not too much, so it basically remained the same, but the wheelbase was increased by 8 centimeters, so that really makes a difference and should bring even more space on the interior. The total new length of the car now is 4.85 meters, and the total wheelbase now is 2.84 meters. So quite a long wheelbase actually, but you know, it's already a big car. Sometimes it has been recorded in the middle class, this car, but I think definitely now with the third generation it is definitely the upper middle class, especially with all the new luxury features you get. However, the price will remain at the middle class level. The Superb so far was 25,000 euros in Germany, for example, and I guess the new one will also be kind of in that area. About the engines, we will have diesels and petrol engines, of course. The diesels will be 120, 150 and 190 horsepower, and thank you to another big cameraman here. He is a very huge camera and even more important than me. And then we have of course petrol engines, and they will last from 125 horsepower until 280 horsepower, and well, they will be quite similar to these one which are offered in the Volkswagen Passat, of course. Thank you again. So, well, what else there to tell? Well, actually there are some new features of the car which has been implemented the first time in the Skoda, and that accounts, for example, for all of the assistance systems. For example, we have a blind spot sensor, and we have, for example, this multi-collision brake, which is also used in a lot of Volkswagen models. And there are also the adaptive cruise control label here, and some more features, especially on the safety and electronic assistance. But about the trunk, I hope you can soon take a look at it, because this is now coming from 625 liters until 1,760 liters, so it was increased by 60 liters even. It will be quite a huge lot of space the car will have to offer. Well, design, you can see there's a very sharp design line at the side and differing light on the upside and shade on the lower side. And if we can take a look at the rear lights, you see it is kind of this C form, and the rear lights and also the front lights, they should remind you of this glass craftsmanship which the Czech Republic is very famous of. So they really want to stress that this car is from the Czech Republic. Well, of course, it's still inside the Volkswagen Corporation and they share a lot of parts, but they really stress that they kind of evolve the car here and develop all of the car here in the Czech Republic as well. So we can take a short look around here, because some of the features also from the exterior are very interesting. Let's take a look at the rear lights here in detail. So there we see this glass craftsmanship. We get a pretty bright crystal on the inside, and then this new C structure on the outside. It makes the car, especially in night, very remarkable, and also stresses this sharper design we have here now. The design before was, well, sometimes I could say rather clumsy. This one is a really sharp car here now, and so maybe we'll also find some new customers seeking for more comfort and more space. So far, the Superb was kind of an lengthened Skoda Octavia, and there weren't so many reasons to buy it. There might be some more reasons to buy it now. Of course, we will drive it later this year then, but just from the exterior design, it's maybe the most beautiful Skoda so far here now. We can also take a look here at the other side of the car, because if we, for example, take a look here from the rear to the front, we see the windows are still quite high. Well, the car has become a little bit flatter and a little bit broader. That makes it more masculine, but in general you see we still have quite huge windows. So this is especially done because the rear passengers should also have a very comfy feeling and also a good view outside. Well, from the first two generations of the modern Skoda Superb, Skoda has sold about 750,000 cars, and the CEO just said from the next generation he wants to sell 25% more than from the previous generation. So they really want to go forward to new customers, and especially China has become a very huge market for Skoda now. So this will be very crucial. For example, the Octavia is already very well selling in China now. So Skoda is not only focused on Europe anymore, they're really going worldwide. Not the US so far, but who knows, that might come soon, especially because this kind of bigger car might also fit there at our American friends. So this is very interesting already from the outside, and well, they did it in that color as well, because they said, okay, they want to have very great colorful options as well, but effectively the most Skoda customers, as well as overall customers on the automotive market, they often rather buy conservative. So let's see if we can open the trunk. Sometimes it's closed, no, it's open. So, electronic opening, you can also do it just with your leg. And here we see that huge space here. We can take a closer look inside. You see it's very steep going in there, also very practical to load. There will, of course, also be an E-State version later on, but this version is already very huge from trunk, and I can't see any other car in that class with that kind of huge trunk. So here you got this combination again between, you know, an already very good Skoda design, but still you got this usability of the car. Some cars in this cars, well, they look very good and offer good luxury features, but you can't really use them for your everyday luggage, for example. But here you see, I think you don't even need an E-State version here, because it's also not a closed luggage compartment. It's a very practical way to combine the exterior view and also the practical use here. I can even imagine sitting on persons in here, so it's really, really huge. We can also flip the seats. I don't do it right now because people are entering there already. I can flip the seats here with the practical buttons. That's also very good. And we got some other clever solutions. For example, we got the with the charger here, for example. So, and then let's see if we can take a look at the interior, because this will be very interesting, because no one hasn't seen before, aside of the Skoda people. I can first enter the rear now, because it's also about the rear, this car, and also about the legroom. Let's get inside. And here you see the seat is rather in a central position right now. Now the lady in the front moves even further. There's really a lot of leg room. As I would be the driver, well, there would be a little bit less leg room, but you can definitely say even if tall persons are driving, you will never have problem with your legs. When I'm just sitting here, well, it is actually quite comfortable. It's of course now the leather option. And then what is very interesting is the headroom. And right now I got this kind of space above my head. We've been driven the Skoda Superb in the previous generation. Well, there has been a panoramic roof until the very end. And then we were lacking headroom actually. But now, well, this is without the panoramic roof below here. There might be an all panoramic roof to the back for the estate version, I guess. Here we just have the panoramic roof in the front now. But if we imagine that the panoramic roof would be at that height here, then maybe we would lose that kind of space. Well, and then it would be like right above my hair. So still a bit better in the previous version, although the car is a little bit flatter. What's quite remarkable is that we got a very prominent design line here that makes the car also very strong. It's also a funny feeling when sitting inside here, especially as you see here in the leather option. It's also covered here on the side that you don't touch anything of the chassis. Here in this top version presentation car we also got the seat heating here as well as a temperature control. But everything else is kind of basic. Here's an optional iPad holder. I can't move it right now. It's more for that seat here. But that's of course a possibility also to include your multimedia lifestyle. You can also attach the iPad here, so there will be another holder right there. Well, I would actually feel comfortable here as a rear passenger. It's maybe now the best way to be almost in the luxury segment, to have a car where you can actually use it as a chauffeur car, but still don't pay too much money for it. Well, and what will be even more interesting will be front seat and co-seat. It's blocked right now, but we'll get to that very soon. We'll use the time to move to the front of the car to see the design there. By the way, also a nice feature here, the sharp ending of the rear door. That also adds to this sharp design in general. By the way, always a good Volkswagen quality, same for Škoda. It's kind of fixed exhaust, and also when we hear the sound of the door, it's not a very high sound, it's more a low frequency sound, and that also gives you a quality feeling, even if it doesn't say so much about the quality at all, it's just about the feeling it conveys. So let's move to the front. You see here very sharp side mirrors again, that also fits to this design image. So let's move to the front. We got quite big alloys here now. Let's see how much they are. This one is now R19, so 19-inch alloys. They're also very beautiful. You see there's a new feature as well that the tire is protecting the alloy a little bit. The tire is a little bit higher than the alloy as it's going inside, so you don't get scratches so easily. So let's get a better look now at the front. We still got the Škoda grille, the logo prominently at the front. And we got a small power dome on here. You see the curve with the power dome. But of course, the highlight are the new front lights. They also got this very sharp structure here. It reminds us a little bit of the Seat cars, so it has become quite close to the Seat design now. What I personally like is this 3D effect. You see this illumination here going inside the light. That one is very special, and then we can see some mixed lines here which are representing this Škoda Czech crystal here again. You see in this kind of top light version, we see this kind of the form when it's also possible to have the adaptive lights, and it follows your steering direction. That's one included here as well. And at the lower part, we can see some of all the elements because we have this comp structure here in the lower air intake. Of course, it's just black plastic, so not too high class if you look at it in detail, but in general, also with a combined chrome line, it also stresses some of the aggression of the car. So, but overall, Škoda did not want to be too aggressive. They still want to be a little bit conservative because their customers aren't too keen on very aggressive cars. And I think this has been a very good compromise with adding some of the broad sporty features, but still being not too far away from what Škoda used to be. So, these are the impressions from the outside so far here. And now we are getting inside as well on the driver's seat, I hope. If they're finished. Looks quite like. Yeah, it really looks they would be finished. About 500 journalists here from all over the world, so it's not too easy to get along with the car just alone. There will be, of course, a driving event at some time, and we can present you the car even better, and of course also with driving. Thank you. So, yes, I take it. So let's first take a look at the driver's seat. This is of course also the top version, that you could just get a visual how it's here in the top trim level. And then let me take a seat, because I think it looks kind of broad already, this seat. So, and now you can also see, searching my driving perspective. Well, first of all, you see you got this rather classical Skoda steering wheel, so you'll feel at home when you already own a Skoda. I think that's also the main thing they are going for. The classic Skoda customer shouldn't be too far away from the new car, you know. We can adjust the steering wheel far away, up and down, and also towards you and back again. That's all very good. The steering wheel itself is kind of big. It's not a small sporty steering wheel. You feel it's more turning towards the luxury style of the car, but I think it fits pretty well. DSG shifting lever here on the inside, also with chrome elements, we know that already. And also the GPS, it's the latest form now from the Volkswagen Corporation. Altogether, this one has the platform called MQB now, it's a German term, so that means that it's kind of on the most current state-of-the-art platform from the Volkswagen Corporation, and so also some of the parts are included in here. For example, also the big GPS, but can't turn on now. Well, in general, well, it does turn on. That's also interesting. We also have the climate control levers here. They feel very high class. You always feel it when they're kind of realizing that you put to the next level. And that's also some of the quality feature you find in the car. Same with the buttons here, as we use from the Volkswagen Corporation, that's pretty fine. Well, about the seat, actually, you cannot lengthen the seating, but in general, they offer a lot of space. They are not towards the sporty atmosphere. They're rather always, again, as it's all fitting to the car, more really on this comfy side. More feel like on a sofa in a living room or something like that. So, but I think it also fits to the car, and it's also a differentiation to the Octavia, where you can also get the Octavia RS version with the sports seats, for example. So you have to have the differentiation there. And that really gives us the impression that it really changed. It's not a longer Octavia anymore, it's a very standalone car. It more focuses on these luxury features, which are especially, for example, now, as I said earlier, wished by the Chinese customers, for example. So I really feel comfortable in it. It reminds me a little bit of the Volkswagen Phaeton, but now I think it's kind of a modern interpretation of this upper middle class now. It is definitely now. By the way, the dashboard, it's not kind of hard plastic, it's a little bit soft, still black material. But here you can see Skoda doesn't want to do too much, doesn't want to exaggerate, also to keep the price at a, well, reasonable level. So we also have a memory seat here that will also be possible to restore it, and 4-way lumbar support. So got a lot of luxury features in here. Well, this car itself, with all of the features inside, will of course not cost 25,000 euros, and also depending on the engine. I think it will rather be like 40, 45, maybe even 50,000 euros, but then you got everything in there, and you always have to remember what you pay for other cars that offer so much space and so many features. So this is a really interesting fact. Also the instrument, you can come closer, because the instruments also have this illuminated style, also very well done, but there's nothing much else. You see, again, it's a concept not to do too much actually. Still, you know, remain quite reasonable. That's a very interesting fact about the car. So I've told you a lot about this car. Now I also want to hear your opinion, because there's so much aspect to talk about: exterior, interior, the whole philosophy. Where are they actually heading to? Where are they going to? So really interesting impressions here. And well, now I'm pretty much looking forward to drive this car. So just to give you another color impression, this one's here the car now in white. And more about the design from the Skoda perspective, we can also listen now to what the designer had to say.
When you look at the car, this is something what I was trying to explain. It's a proudness of this country, it's proudness of this brand. And I think you can feel it. The proportions, the way how the car is standing, the symbolic in these 4 eyes. the way how the grill is set down a little bit, the way how it's shaped, all the lights in this kind of crystal look. And what is very, very special, of course, the way how we put the logo. We are proud of it. This is something what is the most dominant, most beautiful place. And the way how we shaping the car is definitely very, very difficult. It's very sharp, but as well very precise. And if you look at the front, you don't see any sharp line. It is now on the side, and we decided to do that because it was very, very difficult. And was difficult and was as well very expensive. The very good reason for our very important car to be there. Therefore we did it. I think you can see how the way how the bonnet will open, it will give something very exotic, something very, very strong. Here you see the wheelbase. You see the size of the car. You see the dynamic. You see the emotion, but as well you see the muscles. The muscles are hidden under very nice, elegant line. We are not forgetting what we are. We are still Škoda and we are still the brand which is not aggressive. We are the brand which is giving their cars aesthetic with functionality in elegant way. But of course, with a bit of sportiness. You can see the body, you can see the power on the wheels, you can see the window graphic, how it's nicely supported, and even making nice wing in the back. It gives the car something special. It adjusts as well perfectly the proportion. And coming maybe to the back, almost nothing there. Clean, very clean. What do you need? If it's perfect in proportions, you don't need more. You need only nice, attractive lights. We have them, so the three lights graphic, and lots of crystal elements, something very special, but as well shaped so that it's not only good looking, but especially aerodynamically as well, working very well. All this supported with nice cat eyes and of course strong diffuser with for the real man strong exhaust. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the car what we've been working hard on it. We are all proud, and I hope it is the car what you will all enjoy it, and I hope you will love it. Thank you.
Well, here we have a perspective you usually don't have from above, because there's so many people around the car now. We better give you the perspective from above. We have shown you a lot of the car now, talked a lot about facts. And now again, I want to hear your comments on that new car, and also maybe what the Skoda designer said. And here you get a nice impression till the very end, how many people are really actually here, looking forward to that car. And thank you again for watching Autogefühl, and I hope to see you also at the next Autogefühl episode.